I need to see when the last time I uploaded was. It's 3 months? Alright, it's been 3 months since I recorded my last video. That's a problem. So we're gonna come back. We're gonna do a little bit. We're gonna talk Toronto Marlies today. If you don't know who I am though, my name is Nick Barton. I cover the Toronto Marlies for the Leafs Nation. Try to get to every practice, usually at every game, or if they're on the road watching it. This channel was a lot about Leafs and a lot about my reaction to games, and I started trying to do a little bit too much of everything, and it just was not working out, I'll be honest with you. I was doing Leaf stuff, I was doing Marley stuff, and at that time, like, I was enjoying it, but there came a point where I didn't have time for myself. I would wake up, and this is when I'm actually in Toronto now in an apartment. I lived in Pickering before, so I would have to commute all the way to Etobicoke every day it would be like an hour back and forth of a commute, cover the Marlies, come home, write about them, write about something, and then I would watch the Leafs game, and then I would make a video after the Leafs game. I didn't get a lot of time to myself, and hopefully just me coming back into the process a little bit of doing this, I'm not going to go really that much in depth about any Toronto Maple Leaf stuff just because I'm covering a hockey team, covering the Marlies, and I'd like to do that. It's a little bit of a niche thing, and a lot of people have said, Nick, do some, or not some, but a lot of Marley stuff. So without further ado, we're going to do that. And if you have any other suggestions for me to do other videos, or maybe you want me to look into a specific player on the Marlies, let me know. I might bring my camera to the rink and maybe do some video stories there, if that makes sense. I do a lot of written stuff, and you can find my work at the Leafs Nation. I'll put it in the description. But this channel, from now on, if there's fun videos I can make, I'll make them, but it's going to be solely on the Marlies for this point forward. And let me know what you think of this setup. I've seen a few people put their monitors behind them. I like it. I think it looks pretty good. Let me know in the comment section down below, I guess, and yeah, let's talk Toronto Marlies. So the Marlies practiced today. They practiced yesterday. They focused a lot yesterday on the development process. Today, they're getting closer and closer to game action. They play next Wednesday, but they wanted to get a little bit of focus on conditioning with a bunch of days off. They want to see how players are feeling and everything like that, so that was what today was for. As you may know already, Nick Ritchie and Kyle Clifford were sent down, I believe, last week, and have now joined the Marlies. They are skating with the team, and they'll likely get into a few games. If there's any injuries with the Leafs, one of them will go back up, but as it stands right now, those two guys are Marlies. They did do a little bit of line rushing. It was a lot of sort of drills, but they had a little bit of a point where there were some lines, and this is what they looked like. So you had Kopaka, Ritchie, Sini, and Anderson on the first line. It looked like Kopaka was sort of going through the line, and he wasn't really the mainstay there. You had Blandisi, SDA, and Robertson. They're playing Robertson on the right side a little bit, and it's actually working. This line has been together ever since Robertson returned to the Marlies lineup, and it's good to see. Then you had McMahon, Abramov, and Steves. That line has been together for a while too. They've produced. You have Bobby McMahon on the right side. We're going to talk about him a little bit later, but you had him, you had Abramov, who's really good, and you have Alex Steves as well. All three of those guys are having great seasons, and they're showing their skill. And then the fourth line, you have Kyle Clifford, you have Antti Suomela, who's been playing great, a very underrated player, and you have Pavel Gogolev. And then you had Rich Clune, who it seems like he's on the outside looking in, but at times he's usually always in the lineup. And Curtis Douglas, who's been a guy that Kyle Dubas mentioned about possibly looking down the stretch at maybe giving him an NHL contract. There's a few guys that could get a chance to go up with the Leafs before the trade deadline when they have to get those contracts in. So that's what the forward lines look like. I mean, Nick Ritchie, it's pretty evident that he's going to be in that top six. Kyle Clifford is a different sort of player. They don't have a similar play style. Kyle Clifford is sort of that rough and tough guy, although he can still score. He's not really maybe as much of a goal scorer as Nick Ritchie, which is why he's up on that line. But it's a good team. You look at this lineup and you think that this team, if Ritchie and Clifford were to stay with the Marlies for the foreseeable future, could win a lot of games. Speaking of players who talked about it, Alex Biega, I asked him about it today and what he thought of guys like Nick Ritchie and Kyle Clifford coming down and what that sort of does to this Marlies team.
It's a pretty deep lineup, to be honest with you. I mean, you just look at the lineup sheet. I honestly don't remember a team being this deep. I mean, maybe when I personally went to the Calder Cup final, when I played for Utica, that was probably the deepest team that I've seen on paper. But this is certainly a deep team. So I think it gives guys an opportunity in practice to showcase their talent. And I mean, again, we have a really deep team and there's a lot of internal competition, which is a good thing. So I think we're pushing each and every day to be a team that can go and be a Calder Cup contender, and I think it's just a matter of taking it day by day.
And even Greg Moore said these two guys offer a ton of experience. They have a lot of leadership qualities. This team is going to be really exciting with these two guys in the lineup.
All season we've had good leadership, and you just keep adding veteran guys who have been through a lot, and you know, the energy in the room is really good. And then you have a lot of young prospects in our organization that are in their first or second year pro, and for them to have the opportunity to be in and around these guys, to learn from them, see how they do things, you know, it says a lot.
Like I said, we're going to talk about Bobby McMahon a little bit here. He signed a one-year deal yesterday with the Toronto Marlies. This guy is a real player. He's always one of the last players off the ice. He's always working individually on his skills and how he can be better. He's really shown this season what kind of player he can be, and he's grown really fast, which is why the Marlies, at an odd time, you don't really see a lot of AHL deals signed throughout the season, but this one's a well-earned one. I did a story last week on Bobby McMahon, and I interviewed him one-on-one, and I was just asking him questions about his leadership, his hard work. I'll link it down below. It's at theleafsnation.com. It's a good read. Check it out. But yeah, Bobby McMahon was one, and Joseph Woll was the other. Joseph Woll signed a 3-year deal with the Leafs. The first year of his contract's a 2-way deal, while the remaining 2 years after that are a 1-way deal. This is a very good signing, because you think about if Peter Mrazek isn't working out, or they can't sign Jack Campbell, they sort of have a little blanket to fall on in terms of if any of those things could possibly happen. And Woll showed how good he can be at the NHL level in the games that he's played there. And he's showed this season as well that he's become stronger and become a lot better in the AHL. And this is just a great deal for him, a great deal. And this is what a few of the Marlies said on him and Bobby McMahon today.
Well, I think for Bobby, he plays an NHL type game. I mean, he's done an excellent job ever since he got the call. He's a straight line forward. He's up and down. He plays a gritty third, fourth line game. And I think it's really prevalent to really how third or fourth liners play in the NHL, knowing your job and responsibility and doing that consistently. And as for Waller, I mean, obviously he's won some big games for them up top. And I mean, that's at the end of the day, when you get an opportunity, you have to showcase your ability and talent.
But yeah, like I said earlier in the video as well, the Marlies had a conditioning day, which meant skating back and forth and back and forth. I was having a conversation with Todd Crocker, I'll be honest with you, and I was saying, like, when I sit there and I watch a hockey team, like, you watch professional hockey players, there's a lot of people think when they see a player on the ice that their conditioning is bad. That's not the case. No, I mean, these guys are so fit. I want to try and go on that ice and skate back and forth and just see where I can stand with them, because I probably wouldn't even finish the practice. I probably wouldn't even make it half an hour through the practice. But yeah, it was a tough stint of conditioning going back and forth. I was very lucky that I did not have to step on that ice and do it, although why would I ever think I would have to step on that ice with them? I don't know. It didn't look fun, and it probably wasn't, but it helps them regain their conditioning and be better in the long run. Matt Hollowell said that today. They're going to be better in the long run from this, and he's definitely right. But yeah, that is sort of it for this Marlies update video. I don't think I have anything else I have to cover in this. I don't think... No, there's nothing. So that is going to be it for me. If you did enjoy the video, make sure to please leave a like, just so I know if you are enjoying these videos. And if I should make more of them in the future, because this does take time and I do enjoy it, but I want a lot of people to enjoy it too. So let me know by leaving a like, subscribing, comment down below what your thoughts are. And again, if you have anything that you'd like to see from me in the future in terms of Marlies content, again, put it in the comment section down below. But yeah, that is it for me. Thanks for watching. It's good to be back.